It's not very often that you find yourself attracted to a particular person or have a strong desire for them, but when it does happen, you can decide to do one of these two things. Dance to the rhythm of your heart and find a way to be with them, or take a step back and question the origin of that desire. Why is this so? We can get attracted to someone and develop feelings for them for so many reasons. It could be their beauty, smile, intelligence, kindness, and the way they dress, their ability to make you laugh, and so many others. People fall in love for different reasons, even the silly ones. However, you do not want to get involved with someone and discover you have it all wrong. If you must be in a relationship or are considering having a life partner, it should be for the right reasons. As a Christian, you should always do your due diligence and check back with God. Is that feeling or desire from God? One way for you to know if any feeling is right or wrong is by the duration over which it lasts. We are creatures of emotions, and any little thing can spike up or dampen the way we feel. You can be happy one moment and the next, you feel down and depressed depending on situations and circumstances. The point I'm trying to make here is that our emotions are fickle and cannot be depended on to make a decision. So you might discover that you vibe and can flow with someone you have just met. The chemistry is just there and all your senses are telling you to just dive in and go for a ride with that person. Yet, the number of broken relationships around is a testament to how weak emotions can be to lay a foundation of love. So, even if you find yourself strongly drawn to someone, give it some time. It might just be your hormones running high, or perhaps you are at the weak and vulnerable point and happen to need someone. Do not rush in, or you might find yourself rushing out. If it is God that has placed that desire in your heart, you can be sure that it will persist no matter how hard you try to ignore or resist it. So, if your desire passes the test of time, it is probably not just you or your feelings at work. It is based on godly attributes rather than mere lust. You might want to answer a few questions at this point, and you have to do that objectively and honestly. Why are you drawn to that person? What arouses your desire for them? When you think of them, what thoughts run across your mind? Are they thoughts God would approve of? Are they holy, pure, just, true, honest, of good report, or virtuous? Or do they cause you to think according to the flesh? Let us go straight to the point. Are you attracted to someone because of their beauty or smile and think you will be good together in a picture? Does seeing them bring up lustful thoughts in your mind and all you can think of is getting them into your bed? Or maybe you are attracted to their money? Probably you have had to struggle and suffer all your life and the idea of having a good life appeals to you. All of these are valid reasons people become attracted and develop a strong desire for a particular person. Sometimes it might be unconsciously. Maybe you have just had it in mind for a long time that you want to be with someone rich, influential, handsome, or beautiful, as the case may be. Then you met this person, and without knowing why, you start to develop feelings for them. Our thoughts are powerful, and they send messages. They can be transmitted as energy, and that is why the Bible says we should guard our hearts with all diligence. You have to be objective when answering these questions. If you take away the beauty, influence, fame, and all of that, would you still love them the same way? Now, if that desire is from God, it would be based on godly attributes that include the fruits of the Spirit and not on lust. Instead of trying to imagine them in a sensual way, you would be thinking of the things you can achieve together to glorify God. God does not do things haphazardly. When he plans or orchestrates things, he does so with a great degree of precision, such that there is no doubt left in the minds of people in charge. If you discover that you are beginning to get attached to a particular person and it is the will of God, you will notice that the other person is also drawn to you in the same way. The same way you have that desire is the same way God would have spoken to the other person. It takes two to tango. You cannot be in a relationship by yourself, or find fulfillment where the love is one-sided. If you're the only one feeling the attraction or the desire, and the other person is not reciprocating even after some time, it might be that they are not the will of God for you. Do not get it wrong, There have been instances where two people have been attracted to each other and yet they are not meant for each other. So this is not the final test for the right relationship. It is just one of these things that should happen if God is involved. Take for instance Mary and Joseph. Although they had been espoused to each other, Joseph was about to walk away when he found Mary pregnant. Pregnancy that was not his. However, God knew they should be together, and he took up the job of convincing Joseph not to leave Mary herself. Mary was not the one begging or trying to explain anything. The angel did all the work on her behalf, and the two were married according to God's will. As a man, it's okay to woo a lady, buy her gifts, make her feel loved and special to show your affection for her, but if those actions are not being reciprocated, then you might be investing in the wrong person and your feelings are probably misplaced. As a lady too, you do not have to force yourself on anybody. It might be difficult to keep still and stay away when you are attracted to someone, but if you're being real about knowing if that desire is right, that is exactly what you should do. That is not to say you should stay away completely or avoid that person, but do not become so obvious that your actions now begin to provoke a response from the other person. Let God do his work. If God placed the desire in your heart, and it is his will, you can be sure he will work on the other person as well. It might take some time, but that time is what you need to be prepared. If the person eventually walks up to you and proposes, you would not be at a loss on what to do. Besides, it will be a confirmation of the desire in your heart. Amnon in the Bible loved his sister because she was beautiful to behold. Obviously, the motive was the wrong one. The desire to be with her was so strong that he became sick because he could not have her. Do not be deceived by the motions of your heart, and do not always dance to its beats. It can be deceptive and cause you to be deceived. It is possible to fall in love with someone such that you cannot sleep at night because all you do is think about them. This usually happens at the first stage of love, where you are still in a cloud and carried away by the euphoria of the whole experience. While these feelings are not wrong, they should also be accompanied with a sense of peace. If you are unnecessarily disturbed or agitated over someone, there must be something wrong with that desire. Take a look at Amnon. If his desire for his sister was pure, he could have easily approached his father and asked for her hand in marriage. It was allowed at that time, but he did not. He only desired her just so he could sleep with her. And when he did, the desire for her vanished. He hated her more than he loved her at first. One thing that signifies the presence of God in anything is the peace of God. If you are at peace with that desire, then God must have his hand in it. Number 5. Your relationship with that person will glorify God. In the end, that is what matters the most, not our relationships or marriages, but our walk with God. How do you envision your life and relationship with that person? Will they build you, sharpen your spiritual focus, or help you in your walk with God and the fulfillment of your assignment? Well, if yes, then you are on the right path. This is a very important aspect to consider. If that desire will strengthen your walk and your faith in God, you should go ahead according to God's leading.